What up, guys? Welcome back to the Big Screen Show. I'm Alex.
Hey guys, I'm Wyatt.
Uh, And today, this is actually since it's probably like the first time we had to do a movie review, without Victor. So
Yeah,
this is like our first going back to movie reviews for a while now. It's been like maybe a month. So
yeah.
instead of
Me,
Victor,
me
we're
and
having
Victor have been on vacation. Yeah, we've been on vacation for a minute, so they've been lacking on the movie reviews. But me and Alex were lucky enough to see Godzilla versus Kong: The New Empire. So we're gonna give you a review and reaction here today, and possibly maybe some more movies in the future. You want to get off to the no spoiler review first, Alex? Go ahead and give your no spoiler review, and then I'll go, and then we'll get into some conversation with spoilers. That's pretty much how y'all are rolling on this, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right, cool.
All right. All right. For our first initial thoughts here, for me, I gotta say Godzilla vs. Kong New Empire, I honestly think it might be like the best one for me, in my opinion, specifically because like it has like a lot more time put into like with the monsters in the world of the Hollow Earth, especially since Kong has been like my favorite Titan ever since the 2005 King Kong movie, and then
Yeah,
bringing
same
them,
here.
yeah,
Same
and
here.
then
He's my
bringing
favorite Titan.
yeah, yeah, I swear. Because I'm serious. Kong should have won in the last movie. That's all I'm saying. But,
Oh yeah.
I'm ignoring that. But no, this movie actually has a good balance of like pretty much just going all in on those monster fights. Where I think we actually got more monster fights and such in this movie than we did compared to like all the other ones. And I do like that how it has a much better focused story between like the monsters and then the humans because the humans is pretty much straightforward, but there's like much less time put into them and more time focusing on the monsters, which again is a huge advantage and something that they should have done a lot sooner. But again, but I also like how it's like in comparison to the last film, the humans are intersect into the plot a lot more effectively and a lot more into the plot more effectively without dragging anything too much because
Mhm.
again they're still doing like the whole exposition stuff, but that's fine, it's to be expected. But yeah, a lot more greater monster action, great like amazing visual effects and stuff for like the different monsters and their designs, especially when it gets down to the Hollow Earth. Yeah, also this new movie does a lot more emphasis on like facial expressions with the monsters since they can't communicate, but again they use like facial expressions like grunts, especially from like Kong, who is me
Mhm.
like again like the best, like the best throughout this whole film and stuff like that. He's amazing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shows
Him
the
and
intelligence.
Baby Kong really communicate very well with their facial expressions and stuff like that. And all the animals communicated very well. Looking back on that, it's kind of like were we could understand them just through their facial expressions. So they really put some time. They really put some effort into that aspect of the movie.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, greater, well, at least greater effective use for like the humans interaction. Phenomenal monster fights, where I think it might be one of the best ones. At least that goes right along with like its previous film. Greater humor. Like the funny stuff with like the monsters, and I think even the human characters are a bit more funnier in this. So just since like you have very good established dynamics and stuff like that, which doesn't conflate or anything. But I honestly think this actually is my favorite one. I think consider it to be the best one where I could just go and rewatch it over and over. So like I give the movie about an 8 out of 10. It's just so fun and entertaining.
Okay, okay, yeah. That's kind of my thoughts on it also. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and a 7 to me is a good movie that I would watch again, and I would really enjoy watching this movie again. The monster fights were amazing. It's not going to leave you breath like speechless leaving theater, but it's definitely going to leave you with a big smile on your face leaving theater, and that's how I felt. I went in with no expectations. I kind of went in with the expectation of this movie to suck, if I'm just going to be totally honest. And it blew me away. It blew me away. I was sitting there halfway through, and like I leaned over to my friend. I'm like, this movie is actually really good so far, and really enjoyed the movie, man. The monster fights, amazing. The storyline was great because, like you said, they went into the animals and the titans a lot more than the human storyline. And they brought in some really cool titans too. I forgot the Titan's name. That oh, hold up, there's no spoilers right now. I was
Yeah.
about to throw some spoilers in there. Let me catch myself. um, but monster fights were amazing. They brought in new Titans, like new Titan after new Titan. Just we got some cool characters. We got some cool weapons that these characters were using, and I was really caught off guard by how good this movie was. 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, all right. Nice. Then we sorry guys, you already got our initial thoughts and what our personal rating is for this one. All right, now going forward now, we're going to full spoiler territory. We're gonna break down some bits and pieces from this movie, not a full explanation, because you want to go see this movie for yourself if you really just want like a good monster fight of a good time and in like full epicness and scope. So before we get into that, we just want to say thanks for watching so far. And again, if you want to keep watching, continue on. Again, this is a spoiler warning, but again, we appreciate you guys. If you want to subscribe, give any comments you want on the movie and how much and what you thought about it and what your favorite moment is. But all right, here we go. Going forward, you
Yeah, let's get
want
into the nitty gritty.
to yep, you want to lead. You want to go forward with us there on that, Wyatt?
Man, I will because I was talking about the new Titans that they brought into the show. And I was wondering what was that Titan's name that the monkey underground in the Hollow Earth brought out? Because that Titan was bad ass. I just really loved all the Titans in this one. Do you
Yeah,
remember
yeah. All I know was that
Shimo? Shimu is his name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shimo.
yeah, Shimo. But I really love the Titans. Let's get off to let's start from more of the top, I guess, and not hop right in the middle. I really liked the starting scene where Godzilla was asleep in the Coliseum. That was
Yeah.
that was dope to me when we started off the movie. That was one of my favorite scenes. Unfortunately, he woke up and destroyed the Coliseum. but
Yeah.
but I really like that moment. One thing that we were reading into after we saw the movie was that this was 3 years after Godzilla and Kong defeated the Mecha Godzilla. Just to give y'all that information if y'all didn't know that. Um, but starting off the movie, that was one of my favorite scenes. What did you think about the opening scenes? Some of your favorites from then, Alex?
Ooh, the opening scenes I think were again very awesome because again, you know, it always keeps on going to the grand scale of like how powerful and destructive that Godzilla is. But I also appreciate its opening sequence with Kong and how he's adapting for living in the Hollow Earth for like 3 years. Because like I was surprised with how long it's actually been. Because honestly, I thought it was going to be like more expansive, like maybe like 5 years or maybe even earlier than that. But I see him how he's adapting. He's kind of made his own hunting grounds, and also kind of shows that even though he's like this huge titan, he is like a giant ape, and apes are pretty intelligent because he's able to make his own little booby traps and stuff, like when he's hunting his own food and everything. But he can
Mm-hmm.
also show that he's had a lot of scars and stuff with how long he's been there. Just kind of learned to adapting and just getting better with every other fight and enemy that he faces. That he's literally been resorting to like think more and to like make his own little traps and things like that, which I think is a huge bit of growth for his character. And again, why he's my favorite. He's so resourceful.
Mm-hmm. He's so smart, resourceful, and can really connect with humans on a different level than the other Titans can. And that goes to the girl. The girl, we get to see her open up the story also. And like we said, we're not putting too much stock into the human stories at all. Like we're Titans, like Titan, let's go. Uh, but I liked how kind of precise they were about the storyline here with the girl. Like we see that she is not adjusting to life well these 3 years in normal life, and that she is kind of missing Kong and really craving to be with her type of her people. And she's just not adapting well to life in our society. I like how they were really kind of straightforward with that and kind of showed that to us really quickly, and then got into kind of the major storyline of Godzilla being on the move at that point. And Godzilla pretty much goes and attacks that nuclear facility in France and like starts absorbing all of the damn electricity. I thought that shit was dope. Just seeing him like across Europe, just destroying stuff, and then just powering up for this unknown unknown enemy. The humans are like, "What the hell is he powering up for?" I'm like, "What the hell is he powering up for?" And they really got into it and kind of started building the climax really quickly, which I like and I respected. They kind of got right into the action with this film and didn't pity pat around.
Yeah, another major thing that I like about it is that usually in the past movies they're all like, okay, Kong's coming this way. We got prep for like if he comes to attack us and things like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
the humans have always been like kind of like reactive and defensive for when Godzilla's coming. But in this one, they're just like, you know what? Let him go. Let him do his thing. We don't want any more destruction than what he's already doing. Because again,
Yeah.
all he's doing, he's going to recharge his stuff like that, not putting in that much difficulty. But along the way, he's also just fighting off these other titans and stuff like that. Just kind of like showing like, I'm coming. I'm the king. You're in my area. I own this
Uh
whole
huh.
area. And then when these other titans are basically established their own areas in specific sections of like a country in the world, Kong is like, okay, I take that personally. I'm taking you out. I'm gonna recharge myself while I'm doing it, which is like just badass and just kind of shows like how territorial Kong is, no matter where he is.
How powerful he is, man.
Yeah,
He went and tore that Arctic creature up. You remember that scene
yeah.
I forgot it was in Antarctica or something like that, and he was like they had that Arctic creature that was swimming, and no contest, no contest
Yeah,
at all versus Kong
yeah,
versus Godzilla.
yeah. Again, he even also like literally ripped apart and was clawing at this creature that was like called like a Scylla, which is again this squid-like titan and stuff like that. He
Hmm.
basically utterly just mauled and destroyed that thing before ending it with his like atomic breath abilities. And it's like, okay, he's not playing around today. He's a man. He's a titan on a mission.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah. But yeah, that's mostly how it mostly follows with Godzilla, where basically either when it's not focusing on like Kong and the Hollow Earth, or like the humans who are running along with Kong, who are trying to find out what's going on and like their established bases in the Hollow Earth, Godzilla is basically going to recharge and shit. So then we can focus more into the Hollow Earth, and where apparently Kong discovers that there's more of him.
Yeah, yeah. He runs into those apes in like a new section of the Hollow Earth.
Yeah,
It was actually from a sinkhole. A
yeah, it's like a
sinkhole
lower
opened.
section.
Yeah, yeah. Sinkhole opens up near his home, and Kong discovers an uncharted region hidden within the Hollow Earth and a tribe of giant apes, including an adolescent named Suko. That's the baby Kong's name. So he pretty much runs up in to this sinkhole, and there's like these three apes. What were they doing? They were fighting something at first. And
Mm.
Kong rolls up on him, and they like Kong beats the crap out of all these apes, and he's actually trying to like befriend them. Like he doesn't want to fight him. He even saves that one on the
Yeah,
cliff. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but that one be like, nah, I'm getting ready. He was getting ready to go for a stab, but then Kong's like, nope, and then just kicks him back over the cliff. They were really trying to jump him. Like,
Yeah.
Kong was going 3-on-1, and he was utterly destroying them.
Yeah, no, those apes had no chance against him. They were definitely a different type of ape. They were small. They were definitely a smaller species of ape than him because like Kong is like gorilla. You
Mm,
feel me? And
yeah,
these ones had longer arms or something. I don't know if you would consider them chimpanzees or something like that, but they were definitely a little bit of different species than Kong. Um, the young one though,
Suko.
yeah, Suko ends up staying with him. The others retreat, and the Suko ends up staying with him, and pretty much leads him back to their
I guess they're den or something like
yeah,
that.
their den. I was about to say compound, but it's not a compound at all. It was just kind of like a den that they were using, and that these apes were kind of enslaved to work in
Yeah, it's like a
by this
the
ruler.
Scar, yeah, the Scar King, because it was basically like a labor camp, really, because
Yeah.
because they have all these other apes and stuff, basically just working themselves like to death. Because like there was this one ape who like just kind of keeled over, and then one of them who was like working for the Scar King, is like one of the guards or something, was like, "Hey, get back up, you're not done working." But then Kong literally defends him, just goes up on the guard guy, and like the guard was like literally getting all up in Kong's face until Kong literally like just one punch right in his face, and he was like down. I'm like,
Man.
yeah, Kong standing on business.
No, but Kong rolls up in there, man, and kind of tries to free the other apes and just show them like, hey, what are y'all doing? Like, let's get out of here. Like, what is this? Like, he's caught. I feel like Kong is caught off guard because I feel like he's never seen his people enslaved and working in labor camp like this, and his people being treated like this after he's been trying to find his own people for this long. Like, this has to come to a shock to him. But as you would see the story going, he has to run up and he has to face this boss, the Scar King. I honestly thought Kong was gonna beat this dude's ass at first, but that whip that he had
Yeah,
really set things off, bro. That whip that he
yeah,
had really set things off, and that's why I said I really like the weapons they brought into this thing, because without that whip, I don't think he would have stood much of a chance. But that whip was really giving Kong problems in that first face off.
yeah. Even then, even turns out the Scar King is like pretty agile and stuff like that, because he's either doing flips, go rolling around over on Kong, trying to
Oh
not stay
yeah.
in one space for too long. He's utilizing that agility and stuff, because again, he's like smaller and more slimmer than Kong is, so he's basically using like his full advantage of his capabilities. Again, which
Hmm.
also adds more to like him using that whole like skull whip thing that he also uses as like a knife too at the end, using like this kind of crystal that he uses
Yeah.
to control Shimo.
Yeah, and we pretty much see him put a whipping on Kong in that first fight, to be honest, and we see him activate Shimu on top of that, because we did at first I didn't know it could control a Titan. I thought he just had like a really sharp object on the end of this whip, and then he controls the Titan with it. Oh man, and pretty much causes Kong to have frostbite on his arm, which was a big key, especially like going in later on the movie when they soup him up with they make him into like kind of a transformer.
Yeah, I remember when the trailer came. I remember when the trailer came out, and I heard, and the YouTube comments were basically talking about like, yo, when did they put Infinity? Why they put Infinity Gauntlet on Kong?
Man, real talk.
But yeah, it was cool. It was cool though, and at least it makes sense for the reason why Kong needs it. Because again, he got that frostbite and stuff. His hand was weak, so like that glove is helping to get him back to full strength temporarily until he heals up.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of pretty much straightforward. Like Kong loses that first fight, epic fight, really epic fight. Really enjoyed it, and he pretty much retreats back to
Basically,
uh
like the upper part of the Hollow Earth
yeah,
from where it was
back to the upper
before.
part. Yeah, exactly. Back to the upper part of the Hollow Earth, and links up with the squad of humans, and they pretty much soup him up with some technology that they had been working on, and conveniently was already inside of Hollow Earth. So they made a pickup, and then souped Kong up with his Infinity Gauntlet, which was much needed if he was going to take these Titans on.
Yeah, but now this is actually where the human characters actually intersect really well, because again, we had like the characters from like the last film, like Gia, Eileen, and Bernie, the crazy Titan podcast dude with the conspiracy theories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But instead of the other characters from like Godzilla King of the Monsters, played by Millie Bobby Brown, I forget her character name, she did not make a comeback in this movie, which honestly is for the best because again in the last movie like the other subplot where he had like Bernie with her and that her friend or something like that,
Uh-huh.
that was such an unneeded like plot line because again the whole movie could have gone the same way without that, so it's like what was the point really, I always thought.
Yeah, just to have
But
Millie Bobby Brown in it. She was hot off Stranger Things, man, and they paid her big bucks to be in the movie and thought it would bring some attention, I guess. But they focused a lot more into that than the actual story of the Titans and the monsters. And I'm glad they went in a different direction with this one.
yeah, I'm especially glad when they had this new character coming in, who the Trapper played by Dan Stevens. For like, if anyone has ever seen like the FX show like Legion or something like that, dude is phenomenal. But yeah, I like his character most in this movie because again, he's like a Titan veterinarian basically,
Yeah.
and let's be
It
honest,
only
yeah,
when his opening scene, it almost reminded me of like a Guardians of the Galaxy type vibe when
yeah,
it's fixing Kong's tooth and they had like the music playing in the background. He's just like riding up on the helicopter or whatever kind of ship they were using
yeah, with the
to
crane
fix.
on, with the whole crane thing.
Yeah. So it gave me a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, and there was a second scene in the movie. I can't pinpoint exactly what scene, but they played music during another one of his scenes. I think it maybe when he was picking up the Infinity Gauntlet, and it had
Yeah,
gave me another Guardians of the Galaxy type vibe when he was doing that. So I really enjoyed his character. Also, they had a little bit of romance between him and the main chick, and they had a little romance, and they didn't spend too much time into it. They were kind of straightforward. It kind of like established they had a relationship before, blase, and just kind of had some nice moments within the film, but didn't focus totally on the humans and the relationships with the humans because we did not need that. Like we didn't need
yeah,
that.
but yeah, like another reason why I like this movie and it's probably like my favorite. They already have some things already established. They don't need to like get anything unnecessary about it. So like again, they just made it straightforward and stuff like that. Because again,
Mhm.
that's like the really good positive thing you can say on the human aspect for this movie, and probably like some other previous movies again like that. You know.
Man, well, the they get into it's pretty much a duel. Kong, Godzilla on one side, and then we have Shimu and the Scar King on the other side. Um, before they matched up, what were you thinking of this matchup? What were you thinking was about to go down before they actually got down and dirty?
I actually honestly thought it was gonna be like each one was gonna get one person and 1v1 it. Godzilla versus Shima with his atomic breath and like her freezing abilities, and then Kong trying to get a round two win for the Scar King. Give him a good solid taste of that that mechanical glove and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he did, because again, because Kong literally knocked out the Scar King's tooth, and it was like, yeah, because again, when Scar King
Yeah.
first met up with Kong, and you saw that Kong got like a metallic tooth and stuff like that, Scar King was like laughing at him, but then Kong, he got his get back on that one.
Man, and we slick forgot about Mothra.
No, yeah, she made a comeback, and again, that also involves more with the plot of the humans, where the deaf child who was like the friend of Kong, Gia, where apparently it turns out she was like the most chosen one of her of since she was like the last one of her tribe from like Skull Island and everything that got wiped out. She was like the chosen one to help bring Mothra back to life.
Man, and is she in control of Mothra? Because that's the vibe I got.
I don't think so, but it might have something to do with like more of like this kind of psychic
Maybe she
connection thing that
maybe
was going on with like.
she can call on Mothra other than
Uh,
control her. I don't know.
Maybe, because I think it has something to do with like her like DNA and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because I don't know, but I don't know, because Martha is kind of like more like a mythical, spiritual type of Titan in some way, who just reincarnates every time with the same memories, stuff like that. So it's like she knows when she's needed, and like it's basically Godzilla's queen right there.
Man. And I'm reading into just getting a good synopsis of how this final fight went down. The Godzilla versus Kong battle in Egypt.
Dude, that was like so epic because I was not expecting Godzilla to be pulling out some of those wrestling moves because he literally grabbed Kong and just basically did a suplex on him from the
Man, real
pyramids.
talk, bro. That was such a great move. I love their fight at the pyramids. Um, it was it was just amazing. And then they go and they take it to so Kong confronts him in Cairo, and empowered Godzilla gains the upper hand, but the reawakening Mothra intervenes to convince him to aid Kong. So boom, they kind of have a fight, but then they end up linking. In Cairo, Godzilla, Kong, and Mothra battle with the Scar King, his tribe, and Shimo in the Hollow Earth. Their fight carries to Rio de Janeiro. And this is kind of the next fight scene I was leading into. I really love that they went here too, because these are some of my favorite places on Earth. And they came here to fight. So we get to see um Rio de Janeiro, and Shimu begins to induce the second ice age at Scar King's command in Rio de Janeiro. What were your thoughts on this battle and how they took it? Because I love that Godzilla and Kong had their own battle. Like they fought it out. I loved how Mothra came in, brought them together. There's a bigger task at hand here, guys. And they had their battle in Hollow Earth, which was a phenomenal battle. Like all the fight
Yeah.
scenes in this thing were just great. And then they take it to Rio de Janeiro. What were some of your favorite moments from that fight in Hollow Earth and that fight in Rio de Janeiro?
For the Hollow Earth one, I have to say it mostly has got involved with either I think it had more involved to do with like the whole synchronized teamwork that was going on with like Mothra protecting all the innocent people, webbing up all the other like the Scar King's like little minions and everything, but then also like Kong and Godzilla trying to teaming up, going after each other Scar King one by one after another like that, trying to showing how like really drastic the whole thing is because it's Godzilla's job to kind of like keep the Hollow Earth stuff like back down there, and Kong, who's basically meant to stay down there because like the whole like war issues like that. But them
Mm-hmm.
coming together in this huge moment, it's like a pretty big major Titan moment. Where again, it's probably rare. It's probably like a rare thing, but it's like it's something that's really important.
No, most definitely. I loved seeing them come together. It's kind of something that we were not see like I didn't foresee this in this movie. I didn't watch a trailer or anything like that, so I went in knowing nothing. Just to FYI, I'm not into trailers. I try not to watch trailers, and I try to just be surprised going into the movie. But besides that, um, getting back into the Godzilla versus Kong, the them coming together, really big moment. I wonder where they're gonna go next with it. To be honest, is there gonna be another Titan that they have to come together and phase? Are they gonna have beef with each other once again? That's gonna be really interesting. Um, but the Rio de Janeiro fight, where Shimu begins to induce that second ice age, the factions are evenly matched until Suko destroys the crystal used to control Shimu. Big moment from Suko destroying the crystal, and then boom, the Scar King doesn't have control of Shimu any longer. The ape is destroyed when Shima freezes him, and Kong shatters his frozen body to pieces, ending Scar King's reign of terror
Yeah. Oh
once and
yeah.
for all,
Oh
man.
yeah. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
love that. I love that moment so much. Like literally, Shimo, who's probably been like a slave to the Scar King like for so long, trying to get her revenge back, and then Kong coming in, grabbing his frozen bodies, and like just boom, slamming it
yeah,
to a bunch of million pieces. I was like, oh yes, this is why I love these monster movies right here, man.
man.
That's the epic thing we want to see right there.
It was a great death and a realistic death if you think about it. Knowing Shimu's powers and how he was about to induce an ice age, he's definitely going to be able to freeze a person. So, or freeze an ape. So I loved it, man. I loved the ending. I loved how Kong didn't save the day, Godzilla didn't save the day, Shimu didn't save the day. it was Suko who came in, saved the day, and maybe that is where they go next with more of Suko and Kong's storyline together.
I actually would like seeing that because their
Yeah,
whole entire bond stuff has been kind of been like father mentor type relationship. Because like again, Kong was like the only ape to really give Suko like kindness and mercy, and like especially since like Suko literally tried to lead Kong to his death like about two times
multiple
already.
times, yo.
Yeah, but then Kong would be like, really, you gonna try that on me again? Like whatever, I ain't mad about it. We're just gonna move on. Because again, Kong had plenty of chance to like just like just kind of like use his axe on him, like to chop him up.
Oh yeah, Suko could have been done like that with Kong, but Kong kept giving him chances. He knew he was naive and knew that he just didn't know, especially after he saw that he was enslaved for all those years. Uh, Man, I feel like Kong just he's wanted a son. He's wanted somebody else. He's wanted somebody to mentor, man. So
Yeah, and now he's
I
got
like
that now because eventually, because like he's pretty much king of Hollow Earth now. Kong is king of the monsters up top, and Kong is king of Hollow Earth down there.
man, so that's the perfect direction to go. Let's see more of Hollow Earth.
Oh yeah, I would
Yeah,
like to see more of that.
let's see more of Hollow Earth. Let's see more of Suko. Let's see more of Kong. And maybe they need to. I don't even know if you call the movie Godzilla versus Kong at this point. I think they just need to focus on Kong and Suko, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, probably because I heard a sequel is coming, but I heard that they want to do like how they did it with this movie, where it fleshes out more with Godzilla. But I don't know how they could really push that forward, because again, the human, because they can't really add more stuff like the human stuff like that, because that's what kind of like kind of damages the movie a little bit. So like, I was thinking he's gonna introduce an idea where like take that from the old Godzilla movies from like Japan, because there was a time when Godzilla actually had like a little baby Godzilla. So I'm kind of wondering if like they might want to try and put that in there,
What?
because
They
like
both
because
have babies?
yeah, and then this matter the sequel after that, baby Godzilla versus baby Kong fight the small fight. I
Man,
mean,
what
I
the
mean,
heck?
come on, you tell me you wouldn't pay good money to just see Suko and little baby Godzilla just going at it with like this little atomic breath power, or like Kusu, or like Hugo with his like little stone knife that he made back down the Hollow Earth and stuff like that. And
Man,
after getting trained by Kong, ooh, they'd be unstoppable. Just imagine that, man.
man, that would be hysterical. That would be hilarious if they did that. They had them match up in real life. But shoot, it could be possible, man. They could build the storyline of Godzilla getting his own baby, and maybe like a movie or two down the line, run that up. So
Yeah, because
it's not out of the realm.
yeah, even more so because it pretty makes it really clear that even though Godzilla is king up top, he's pretty much alone. Because like when he goes back to Rome to be in that Colosseum, stuff like that, just kind of
Yeah.
nestled in there like a cat. Which fun fact, the director actually got the idea inspired from his own cat that he has at home, which is kind of cute.
Yeah, and I was reading this after the battle. Godzilla returns to rest in the Colosseum, like you said. Mothra restores the protective barrier of the Iwi's home, which is the tribe that we saw, and Kong, together with Shima and Suko, return to the Hollow Earth, where Kong becomes the newfound leader of the tribe. Gia alleviates Andrew's fears by choosing to stay with her adopted mother. Really like the ending with the humans, with her deciding to stay with her mother instead of staying with the tribe. They had a really good moment together, pretty much wherever you go, I go. There at the end, and really came to a good ending with the mom and the daughter. And I think she's gonna have a lot better time adjusting to society, and I think she's gonna be a-okay in the future.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I really like again the human stuff like that. There wasn't anything unnecessary added to like kind of like extend their problems like that. It's pretty much just made clear and just it's kind of mature writing where it's like Eileen, Gia's adopted mother, was kind of worried that she might want to choose to stay here, but instead of like making like unnecessary drama or like friction, it just kind of kept like naturally mature because again, Gia was like the only one in her tribe and culture, but then she meets these ones down here in the Hollow Earth, and it's like okay, yeah, even though she does hound her people and stuff like that, Eileen has always been with her for like the longest time. So it's like, it still makes sense that she would want to stay with her adopted mother, just kind of learn to reintegrate into society. And, maybe when she's older, find a good balance between like coming down to the Hollow Earth and then, being up there with the humans.
Yeah, real talk, man. And hopefully we get to see her grow. Hopefully you get to see her story develop as we see Kong's story develop and go forward. But really enjoyed this movie. I can't think of any other scenes. Well, there was that one scene where the guy got uh, killed and eaten by the plant, the security guy.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was a good death. That was a funny death. I really enjoyed that one because he was kind of being an asshole, to be honest, and
Yeah.
got what was coming to him, to to be real. But besides that one death, I can't remember anything else right now that needs to be brought to attention. Like I said, gave this movie a 7 out of 10. Definitely would watch this one again. Great movie. Alex gave it an 8 out of 10. Any closing remarks, Alex?
No, all I can say is if you're looking for a good, nice blockbuster for like some good monster fun with a pretty good, some decent storyline that again doesn't feel anything overcomplicated and just feels like a hell of a good time, this movie is definitely for you. Again, if you're a fan of, like the MonsterVerse, even like Godzilla or Kong, and like any of the movies from like from here in the American studios or originally from like Japan, I say go see it. But don't make any comparisons with Godzilla minus one because those are incomparable.
No, incomparable. You're right. They're two separate things. When I look at it, I'm not gonna combine the two. Two separate things. Really enjoyed this one. Enjoyed Godzilla minus one even more. I will say that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Godzilla minus one. I think I gave it a 9.
No, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I think I gave it a 9 also. So I keep them separate. I enjoy both movies. I enjoy both universes. But besides that, guys, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to comment your rating of the movie down below. What did you give this one? Other than that, you might catch me and Alex together soon on another movie review. Hopefully, little Victor will be back and in his essence soon enough. But guys, this has been the Big Screen Show. Thank you so much.